Girl, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but your vague goals are the reason that you are feeling exhausted all the time and feeling like you're working so hard but you have nothing to show for it. And hey girl, if you're new here, this is Matcha and Yaps, where we make matcha and we yap about being a highly sensitive but highly ambitious girl in a world that just was not made for us. If that sounds anything like you, make sure to follow along for the journey, because we post these every Monday and it helps us get our week straight and help us get aligned for the week ahead. I'm finally realizing that it actually doesn't work for me to not have a routine. It actually makes me feel quite anxious and stressed out, and also still working just as hard, if not harder, but not achieving the things that I want to achieve and just kind of floating through life thinking what the hell is happening. I've always been a bit afraid of commitment as an adult, and I'm quite an avoidant person. I like to avoid my problems, I like to choose peace, just not stress myself out, quite frankly. But the thing is, girl, when you're avoidant, there's a cost, there's a price to pay for being avoidant, and it actually just makes you so much more anxious, and it makes you kind of overcompensate with the things that you do. So when you actually do have energy, you feel like you need to work 10 times harder because you're overcompensating for the lack of routine and lack of order that you have in your life. And I can guarantee if you're anything like that, you are probably the same as me, where when you sit down on the sofa after a long day of work to watch Netflix with your partner or whoever, even by yourself, you feel so guilty and you feel like there's somewhere you need to be, something you need to be doing, something that you've forgotten, and your brain is constantly in overdrive, which is making you even more exhausted and depleted. But girl, if you have no clear plan or strategy of how you are going to get from A to B, you are just mindlessly living your life and you're just floating about in this endless list of tasks that you need to get done, and they never get completed, by the way. They keep respawning, because that is what being an adult is, I have learned, unfortunately. And then you just spend your life stuck in cycles of feeling burnt out all the time and feeling like you don't actually have energy to even think about making a plan or a strategy of how to get there. You have to be clear on what you actually want in life in order for you to be able to reverse engineer yourself into that life. If you're not aware of this, you are going to go throughout your life feeling like you're so lazy and feeling like you don't do enough and feeling like you need to do more when you don't. You just need to be smarter with what you're actually doing. The only way for you to do that is for you to have a plan, a granular level, detailed plan of exactly how you are going to get from A to B. I can guarantee you don't feel guilty because you don't do enough. You're just not doing enough of the right thing, and you're still being exhausted in the process because you don't get rewarded for that, by the way. And the big sister advice that I'm going to leave you with is that you do not need more self-development, you don't need more tips, you don't need more education, you don't need to add more things onto your to-do list. You actually need to get clear on what it is that you want and make a plan that is going to facilitate that life for you. It's extremely hard to aim if you don't have a target in the first place. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with this as well, because it is actually debilitating when you sit down to rest but your mind is just constantly in overdrive, telling you that you're lazy, telling you that you need to do more, and thinking of all the things that you might need to do or that you might have forgotten about. We don't need to live this way anymore, and we can actually make things so much easier if we just have a plan. Oh my god, it's so good.